Welcome to our book date with you session. Happy New Year 2021. I really hope that you have a great start this year. And this is the first ever episode for this year, 2021. So Gideon and I thinking that there is no better way that we can start this year sharing this book with you. Leader, Eat Last. It's so important that we start our year knowing how to show up ourselves as a leader to our family, workplace, and also in our community. So that's how important it is. Let us do the sharing with you today. Let's go.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. So this book actually by Simon Sinek again. We like him so much, and this book is about for someone who inspired to be leader, for anyone that will inspire to be leader, who want to learn about leadership. So Simon, I think this is his second book, and he wrote after his experience in Afghanistan. So I think we should hear about this, But before that, I think we want to make some announcement about our book take session for this year.
Yeah.
So for this year onwards, we will do our session bi-weekly. So we'll do once every 2 weeks.
Yes, once a fortnight. So it means that 1 month we only have 2 times to meet up. Okay, so I think I'll start this book with a story. Okay, you know when the story starts is once upon a time. All the stories start with once upon a time, right? So I'm thinking that I'm going to share the story because I told Gideon that I was going to share this story. Once upon a time, there is one hungry lion. This hungry lion, he want to go after an ox because he's so hungry, right? So he saw a group of oxes in front of him. So he go after the ox. But the ox all grouped together, back to back. You know the ox with a horn? That kind of ox. So all the oxes, they actually come back to back, circle themselves. So all the oxes we have with the horns is outside. And which direction that the lion comes to them, the lion will meet up with the horn. And suddenly, the ox quarrels. They are just argue among themselves. And the ox separate into different fields, different corner of the fields. And that is the time that the lion, spot one ox and go and grab the ox. The ox die. End of the story. That's how I'm going to tell you the story because I have a long time didn't really tell the story. This story is a real story from this book. I'm not making it up. Okay, it's a real story. Okay.
Yeah, I think what Joyce is trying to tell is about the circle, right? They call it circle of safety in this book. So if I refer to page 25, this is the circle of safety. You can see. So if the ox, let's say the group of ox, they are in a safety of circle, they are quite safe from the lion, But if they are not, they run away or they are not quarrel within themselves, they don't feel safe. This is where they will be eaten by the lion.
Yes. So it's so important to know about circle of safety that in our company that we are the circle of safety, the people in the
Yeah,
company.
I want to say it's about the leader actually have the responsibility to create a circle of safety so that the staff will feel safe to work inside the circle. No, they don't have to fight against each other, internal politics, or do all these things, because we have enough danger or competitiveness nowadays outside of your business. If you still, worry about your colleague, whether he or she, will hurt you, will backstab you, then you will not work against your outside danger. So I think it's very important about safety of circle of safety. Yeah.
This is what it means by Gideon is trying to explain about this circle of safety. All right. It's so important. And one more example from the book as well that makes me cry. And I wonder you all will cry as well. I'm not sure. this is a story about um, a company that set up with a new policy. And this policy is it allows the employee, means that the colleague, to transfer their annual leave to their colleagues, whoever that need the annual leave. Means that averagely we have 15 to 20 days of annual leave, right? So if I finish all my leaves, so Gideon, you still have maybe you still have 10, 7 days of leave, so that I have some emergency that happen. So Gideon will transfer the leave to me so that I do not need to take unpaid leave. I asked a lot of my friends and also my sister, and all of them tell me the same thing. It won't happen in their company. So if this happened to you, do you think that it works or not? I am not sure about this, but for me, I personally feel so touched about whatever written by Simon in this book is because it illustrates, it is a real company, it's a real story, it's a real circumstances that I want to tell you. That's why I feel so much of so touching when if the person that really can be so, how would I say, so close together, that treat each other like family. Do you know that? How lovely it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this there's a quote inside the book which I like a lot is talking about it's better that we all suffer a little
Hmm.
so that none of us has to suffer a lot. I think about it in this kind of economy currently. I think a lot of companies they just sacrifice a lot of people by just firing a few or a lot of people so that they keep the company. But they never think about why not everyone we keep every staff that we have, but everyone just take a little cut of their salary so that everyone keep their job. I mean the book just treat like every staff that you take in is like your family members. You won't tell them off, right? If the family are not doing well, you will just everyone just have to be bear together, have to work together to go
Yeah.
through these difficulties. Yeah.
Yes.
So
It's a good example that whatever happened right now, we are facing with the COVID-19 pandemic right now. A lot of us in a different industry are affected definitely. So that's why it is
yeah,
better that we all suffer a little, so none of us has to suffer a lot. From Simon Sinek, this book. Okay,
yeah.
love it so much.
So the next, we want to go a little bit scientific. So we want to understand what is the chemical that drive our behavior.
Mm.
We want to talk about the four chemicals that drive our behaviors. That these chemicals that actually create our happiness, joy, pride, love, fulfillment. So let's hear it because there's actually science proof on this. So I want to talk about two chemical first, and Joyce will talk about another two. So the first two I want to talk about is selfish chemical. They call it selfish chemical
So,
because you don't need others to get this chemical. You alone can create this on your own. So the first chemical is called endorphin. So endorphin, they call it a pain masking chemical. So which is where when you see a lot of athletes when they do sport and they go to so much pain, but they just they can ignore the pain and they just can go through the pain and they meet what they want, and only after that they will feel the pain. So I think this is one of the chemicals that help human beings to go through a lot of hardness physically.
yeah.
So definitely this is something very important because we need to go sometimes physically we need to go through a lot of hardship, and this is one of the chemicals that let us pass through this. Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
Second
Another
one,
one is
the second dopamine.
yeah, the second one is my favorite is called dopamine. So dopamine is the goal achieving chemical. So we generate this chemical or we generate this chemical when we achieve something, we accomplish something. So I think this is why a lot of people like to make goal lists They do a lot of goal list, and when you tick off, you achieve something, you tick it off, you feel like, your dopamine will be generated, and you feel very happy, So this is one of the things that help us to achieve something, accomplish something. And but one of the things that I like about this book talking about is this is also one of the chemical that is quite dangerous because it's addictive.
Mm.
So example, like things that can create dopamine is like cocaine, gambling, your handphone, your nicotine, alcohol. So just think about it. Why a lot of people, when they see their handphone beeping or create some sound, they like to see it. They just can't resist to wait. They just have to see it instantly because once they see it, they will get this dopamine generated in the body.
Last time I
So
told
yeah.
last time I told about my dopamine. I back then, when I'm in my university, I have this kind of, I told my, it's this kind of like sickness, issue for me is I can't even stand if like an hour that my phone never ring or my phone never beeping or anything sound or SMS sound or any sound that comes from my phone. And I keep checking the phone and I thought that my phone is dying. So I asked my roommate to give me a call just to check my phone is really okay. So it is all because of dopamine. It's
Yeah.
just because I love the back then. I'm not like this right now. I want to tell you. It's definitely I'm not like this like right now. But last time this dopamine really haunted me for years. Okay.
So Joyce, let's pass to you to talk about the selfless chemical.
So because we think that we want to separate, I was
Selfishness.
going to talk about selfless chemical hormone that you were going to talk about
Uh,
selfish hormone.
you have to be selfish first, then you can selfless.
We finish the selfish. We talk about selfless right now.
Yeah.
We have two hormones that really Simon talked a lot in this book is serotonin and also oxytocin. I know it might sound kind of very scientific to you, but let me put it in a easier to understand way. Okay, serotonin is the hormone that can help you to boost your self-confidence. All right, and definitely it can inspire you or us to help to those that we work around us. That is serotonin. And the last one, I love it so much because I told Gideon that I must talk about this oxytocin. I crazily love about oxytocin. Oxytocin is a hormone. I give you an example is like mom, when mommy hug a baby, all right, give birth to a baby, right? It hugs the baby will feel the love, the connection. It's all because of the hormone oxytocin. The mom, she herself, will feel the love and the connection as well because of the hugs. That's the reason why I fall in love with the hugs. Before COVID-19, I love the hugs. Whenever I meet anyone or when I have my event, end of the event, we were going to hug each other. So one thing I remember my boyfriend always loved to tell me is we all need 4 hugs a day to survive, 8 hugs a day for maintenance, and 12 hugs a day. 12, 1, 2, 12 hugs a day for growth. So if you want to grow and progress yourself, you need minimum 12 hugs a day. So that's why I tell you oxytocin is no joke. It is so good, especially when you feel stress. It can help you to relieve your stress. It can help you to, how would I say, increase your immune system, lower your blood pressure.
Yeah, immune system.
Yeah, and also it can definitely
Yeah.
improve your cognitive function, and so that you can solve those very challenging problems. Yes, and also it can help to increase your interest in your work, so that you feel like you inspire to work together. that is like a bond, like a connection, there's love in between each other. So when you have the hormone of oxytocin, I tell you, it's a fantastic feeling. I love it so much. Okay, finish about chemical, all these 4 different hormones that exist in our body. Let's talk about this one.
So
Last
you want
part.
to talk about the Gen Z?
Yeah, this is the book. There is one chapter, one big chapter. Simon talked about this. He revised it and expanded the chapter. It's talking about a generation called millennials. So I fall into the category of millennials. So millennials are those born after 1980. All right, after 1980 until 1995, which is you are from the generation of millennials. So this book sharing about what are the great ways as a leader when we work together with millennials people. So this is one of the way that I love so much is a lot of leaders nowadays in workplace, they forgot about mentoring. Sometimes we need to give mentorship and also training to the millennials. Those young people that coming into the work, sometimes it's great that we give them more guidance, give them more training so that they can progress. That's one of the very big part that Simon shared in this book. And this another point I think that I wanted to tell you, but it does not mean that every one of you can practice it. I personally love this so much. Keep the conference room free of cell phones. How many of you have this experience that you have a meeting without your cell phone beside you or without your cell phone in your pocket or wherever place? I don't know about you. How about Gideon? Do you have experience with that?
No, no, no. I
Okay.
think the cell phone nowadays is more important than wallet.
You can pay everything, right? If you have your apps.
Yeah, I
I
think you
know.
just feel more insecure without your handphone. Yeah,
So this is a book. I mean, whatever we share today is all from the book, right?
yeah.
Some really encourage people to keep, our conference room meeting when we have any meeting free of cell phones means that we are not keeping our cell phones so we can have better connection, better focus during the session. So this is something that as a leader in a
Okay.
company, why not practice it, right? And last one, maybe Gideon, you want to share?
Last one I think is to know how to give and receive feedback, right? I
Yes.
think a lot they have to. I think we mentioned a lot. You have to learn how to listen. Listen meanings receive feedbacks and receive all this. I think feedback is a gift. Just treat as a gift for you to improve.
Yeah.
If the gift you don't like it, you can keep it aside first, right?
Hmm.
Then maybe one day you can use it.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So it's so important to also share with those youngsters that coming into the workplace, share with them, teach them how to give feedback, how to receive feedback, and how to give feedback. This is a few examples that highlight by Simon in this book. Definitely. So I think conclusion, I will pass to you, like Gideon. We are over time today already. Conclusion.
The conclusion, I think, what Simon like to say, the Simon mantra is be the leaders we wish we had.
Yes.
So if you don't wish for someone to be a leader in future, be the leader first and influence the people around you.
Yes, so great. Okay, so we will conclude today's session with this be the leader that you wish you have. And we're going to see you next 2 weeks' time. So we have another
Yes.
fantastic book that I love to share with you on the 23rd of January. It's a Saturday. See you. Bye bye.